Hey guys, DB93 here. Just tacking this video onto the start of my original video because I realised I forgot to explain some things. So first off, this video is in response to Ryan Q. Vincent's comment on my electrolysis video and is meant as a continuation of the electrolysis video. Now, Ryan Q. Vincent made the claim that the coins could be dissolving slightly in the water, providing a skewed or false positive. And I said, well, I don't really think that enough is dissolving in there because we don't see that sort of degradation in the coin, but I'm not able to make that claim. So what I'll do is I'll test it for you and we'll investigate because you made a good point. So I tried a few different things to investigate. I tried testing the water at work with a conductivity probe. There were some issues with that, but it did appear that there was no significant difference between the liquid in test B compared to the blank deionized water that I brought in, also compared to the deionized water I used at work. Right, so they were all within the same sort of group of numbers. That was within the error margin. So I thought, well, bugger, this won't be good. Can't really use those results unless we actually get, stable numbers. Because what happening is the range kept shifting when I tried to test the 0.5 parts per million and then back to the deionized water. So I couldn't get any definitive numerical answer. All I could say was that they were testing relatively similar and different, again, to the 0.5 parts per million sodium chloride solution. Then what I did was I decided I'd use non-ion forming electrodes, and I bought some graphite rods, which I got them from Officeworks. They're meant for art. Now I got a positive result from that, but they broke down within 2 hours, and I thought, well, that's also not good. I can't really show much of that. So I had a control and that didn't do anything, and I had a powered one which broke down very, very quickly. And I thought, well, I can't really claim that the water's not breaking it down as opposed to electricity if the thing just breaks down completely. So I figured out a way to get a quantitative and instantaneous measurement. So what I mean is you get pure water, and as soon as those electrodes go into the water, you get an instant measurement. Before any metal ions have a chance to dissolve into solution, before anything in the atmosphere has a chance to dissolve into the deionized water. So that's what this video had become. So without any further ado, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you find it insightful and repeat it for yourself. G'day guys, it's DB93 here again. Now, this one is meant as an extension to the electrolysis test I did. Now, I need to be doing some electrical work on my car soon, so I went and got this multimeter. I got it from the local electronics store for, it was 45 bucks. And I thought we could use it to actually get any quantifiable evidence that there is current flowing. Now I've got my trusty demineralized water here, sorry, deionized. Now this glass contains tap water, and this one I've just recently rinsed with deionized water, that's why there's a little bit in it. What we're going to do is going to look at the resistance of tap water and deionized water. And then we're going to see if we can actually get any readings of the deionized water. So if the deionized water isn't conductive, like P&Pete claim it isn't, then we shouldn't be able to get a voltage potential off it. We shouldn't be able to get any voltage readings or any current readings. and we shouldn't be able to measure the resistance. So we'll see if that stands up. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, and I'm sure most of you are, P&P's claims really started to build momentum and backbone when they started attacking water and the composition. So they claim water is an element, that it's not made up of hydrogen nor oxygen, and that the only way to prove that they are wrong is if someone could perform electrolysis on pure water or deionized water, and get those gas bubbles on both electrodes. Okay, now my previous video I actually showed that you could do it. I explained why you could do it. I think I did. If I didn't, I'll do a brief description either in the video or in the description. But I show it's entirely possible. Now they say you need ions to conduct electricity. That is true. But pure water does have ions in it because it does something called self-ionization. Now what that is, if you've got two water molecules and they come together and they react. And they react in a unique way because they're amphiprotic. Amphiprotic, I think it is actually, which means they can act as an acid and a base at the same time. Anyway, one gives the other one a hydrogen. So you end up with H3O+, which is hydronium ion. And you end up with OH-, which is hydroxide ion. Now the reason that it's so incredibly hard to get a current to go through it or detect it is because the number of ions produced is very, very small. Very, very small indeed. But they are there. One of the ways we can tell that there is because we can read the pH of pure water, because pH probes detect the relative concentrations of hydronium and hydroxide ions in solution. So if neither of those were in solution, we wouldn't be able to read pH. Okay. Now, we'll just quickly have a look at the tap water. So I've got these set up, hopefully they won't touch each other, so that they won't change the distance. Now I have these other ones hooked up so that we can examine the actual voltage traveling through it after we take into account the resistance. That's for a bit later. Now I'll just connect up. Sorry, I'm trying to hold my phone here. For those of you unaware, I record and edit all my videos via my phone. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. Because I don't have a laptop. I got broken into a while back and they stole it. So now I do it this way. Okay. Alright, so we've connected up. So yellow line goes to one electrode, green line connects to black, connects to the other one. And what we'll do is we'll switch it to resistance. And it's meant to auto pick the range. So we got kilohertz, but I might just change the range so that the universal. So I took the auto off. I'll let it settle for a little bit, so it's dropping. So it's less than 80 kilo ohms, or 80,000 ohms. $78 by the looks of it. Just make sure. Oh no. That's mega ohms. So yeah, I think we got down to about 80. So that'd be 80,000 kilo ohms. I think. I don't know. I'm still sort of working out exactly what the numbers are. The decimal point changes. I'll add a disclaimer in the description or either to the face of the video. Alright, so yeah, we're sitting, still dropping a little bit, but sitting around 80. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll open this up, plop some of this in here. Don't want to put too much or I'll wet the gator clips. Alright, so we'll just quickly shake it off, put it into here. Alright, so there's a big difference. Right, it's double the resistance. And it was already a very high resistance. Okay, so just detach these gator clips real quick. Now what I'll do, so I've got my 3 batteries here. Now these detect, so 3 9-volt batteries in series. So that's 9, 9 and 9, that's 27. So if I switch it to volts, we should get 27 volts. So bear with me, I just need to put these up in a way that I can hold them with one hand. Oh. There we go. And we got 27.5 volts. So that's about what we expect to see. Now I'm just going to put the phone down and switch it to amps. Okay, here we go. So I set it to microamps. We got 0.2 microamps. Oh, that's DC, hang on. Alright. 2.1 microamps AC current. Alright. So my detection limit is 1/10 of a microamp. So with resistance that high, I'm not going to be able to detect the amps, but I might be able to detect the voltage. So what I'll do now is I'll connect these up. So yellow will be our positive, and then black will be going on negative. Okay, and just so you can see, it says negative on there. Right, so now this is live, and if it's conducting electricity, we'll be able to see it. So make sure it's not touching the glass. Okie doke. So, what we need to do, so the current should be heading through this yellow line, across the water, into this green line, into the black line, and into the top here. So what we can do is we can, first off, we can interrupt the bugger. Come out. Sorry, one-handed again. There we go. So we'll interrupt the circuit. So green will be our positive, and we'll pass it through the voltmeter, and that'll give us our potential. So potential 2.1 microamps, which is about right, and about 27 volts. Okay, switch it to AC. Not liking AC. Alright, leave it on DC. Alright, so 27 volts, that is about right. So what we'll do now is we'll reconnect these, like so. Right, so where this is connected, we'll be able to run a parallel circuit with the voltmeter to actually measure what volts are actually passing through. Right, so we'll connect up our positive, and we'll just touch on here. Again, about 0.2 millivolts. That is very, very low. But it is evidence of current. Now it's gone down now. It is evidence of current though. It's right on the edge of what's detectable, but it's there. So there you go. Now if you've got a voltmeter that has the same sort of range as this one, I highly suggest you do this test. Okay. Now P&P have made claims that my deionized water is not pure. And they said it cannot be because I got electrolysis to work with it. That strikes me as a little closed-minded and a little too sure of themselves that they cannot be wrong. Okay, I asked them to do the test for themselves to prove it. They rejected. Now, I have actually tested this water against the water in the lab that I work in, which I definitely know is pure. And it came up with relatively the same conductivity, which is how we measure ion concentration. Now, if I was being intentionally misleading, like P&P obviously think I am being, I wouldn't be suggesting that you do this yourselves, because that would be the easiest way to disprove me. So I suggest if you've got a voltmeter, go off and do that. If you don't, then set up the experiment like I did in my original video. Leave it for 2 hours, potentially overnight, and you'll see for yourselves. The one with power will react. Okay, now I just want to talk about their. They keep telling me to add a light globe so you can see definitively that there's current flowing. That's not going to work because I don't know any light globes with a minimum operating range of 0.1 millivolts and a undetectable range of amps. So no, that's not going to work. And they also said in the comments that they used 240 volt, put 240 volts through the water, and they still couldn't get the light to light up. Well, in that video, they actually used a household light, which is designed to operate at 240 volts. So if you've got 240 volts and you're putting it through such high resistance, and now keep in mind that's 10 times what this is, so you need 10 of these for 240 volts. So you'd realistically end up, I would assume, with 10 times the amount of voltage, which is about 1 to 2 millivolts. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know of any household lights that run on 1 to 2 millivolts either. So they're using an inadequate testing method because the test does not have a low enough detection range. Okay, so it's not going to pick up. It's not going to give them a true positive. It's going to give them a false negative. So that was a big error with their test regarding this. Now, in my tests, I also show that you get bubbles on both electrodes when you're running it for extended periods of time. Now, it happens very, very slowly, so it'd be kind of difficult to capture a significant amount of that gas. But I may try and do it later, but for now this should be enough evidence that they're wrong. Because if water was an element, and this is elemental water in its pure form, then it shouldn't conduct. That was the whole crux of their claim anyway. Now, pure water as H2O, although it's a covalent molecule, it does self-ionize into ions, hydronium and hydroxide, which means we can pass a current through it, but it has an incredibly high resistance, which we've seen. Twice that of tap water. Right? And this is very soft, or what's known as soft tap water. There aren't a lot of metal ions in there. Okay? If I added salt, that conductivity would, not conductivity, that resistance would drop way down. Okay? So, try this at home, see the results for yourself, and have a think of what these results mean. If you have any questions, comments or whatever, just leave them in the comments. I'll get round to them. Take it easy. Catch you later. Okay, real quick, forgot to mention this is the multimeter I bought, the Digitech duty cycle and temperature digital meter multimeter. It's from the Technician range. And just want to make you aware, not all multimeters have the same sort of detection ranges. You can buy some which are only for high ranges, using those in like substations, etc. This one's meant for a lot lower level stuff, so usually this can do sort of household power cycles, I think, but is mainly used for like electronics. So yeah, in case you wanted to, if you weren't sure what kind of multimeter you should use, you can use this one. It's the one that I used. And yeah, should make things a bit easier. Alright, thank you.